Welcome back to another episode of Tommy Maroon Sports Show. I think it's episode number 130. Don't quote me on that, but what I can quote you on is the fact that we should have a good episode today. As always, we're talking Cavs, we're talking about my picks, and a special rap song dedicated to the Cleveland Browns, just like last year, except it's going to be about frustration as a Browns fan. Cleveland Cavaliers team leaders in points per game and assists per game and steals per game. Darius Garland, that guy right there, leads us. 19.5 points per game, 7.3 assists per game, 1.4 steals per game. And Jarrett leads us with 10.7 rebounds per game. That's right, Jarrett Allen. And Evan Mobley leads us with 1.8 blocks per game. So now let's look at the game recaps. First things first, Cavs at the Wizards. Cavs got trashed on 110-93. Kevin put up 24 points and 11 rebounds. Evan Mobley had 21 points. Bradley Beal 29 points, 10 assists. Kyle Kuzma 25 points, 10 rebounds. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope 12 points. First half was quite competitive, and the Wizards shot 50%. Cavs against the Hawks, and we lost by 3. Oh, man. Kevin Love, 35 points, 11 rebounds off the bench. Jarrett, 21 points, Evan, 16 points. Trae Young, 35 points and 11 assists. Of course, you know that Trae Young is very good. Clint Capella, 18 points, and how many assists, you might ask? No, 23 rebounds. And Skylar Mays had 19 points. We were up by 16 at one point, and we had more rebounds and assists, but we lost. And then Cavs against the Pacers. This game, a back-and-forth one. Cavs won it 108-104. Evan Mobley, 24 points, 9 rebounds. Jarrett Allen, 18 points, 11 rebounds. Lamar Stevens, 15 points. Domantas Sabonis, 32 points, 13 rebounds. And Miles Turner, 12 points, 10 rebounds. The game was back and forth, and we had 0 fast break points. But you know what? We end up winning as that pass goes out. See, easy points. But what was frustrating was that the Cavs lost last night to the Grizzlies, 106-110. Of course, Jarrett Allen, you can't talk about the Cavs without talking about him. 22 points, 12 rebounds. Kevin Love, 18 points, 9 rebounds. Darius Garland, 27 points, which led the team in 10 assists. And meanwhile, for the Grizzlies, Ja Morant, he's pretty good. You all know who he is. He had 26 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Jaren Jackson Jr., 21 points. Desmond Bane, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. It was a pretty close game. Cavs were winning for most of the second half, and then the Grizzlies took the lead. And then by the end of the fourth quarter, the Grizzlies were basically out free. Now time for Tommy's picks, as you know. And we did college football and the NFL. The Guaranteed Rate Bowl, Minnesota beat West Virginia 18-6. The Cheez-It Bowl, Clemson beat Iowa State 2013. The Valero Alamo Bowl, 47-32. OU won that over OU. That's right, Oklahoma over Oregon. Duke's Mayo Bowl, South Carolina won 38-21 over North Carolina, which meant that their head coach got dunked in Mayo. And the Music City Bowl, following some controversial calls, Purdue won 48-45. The Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Michigan State beat Pitt 31-21. The Las Vegas Bowl, Wisconsin beat Arizona State 2013. Taxslayer Gator Bowl, Wake Forest beat Rutgers 38-10. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, congrats to Central Michigan. They won the Sun Bowl 24-21. And then for the playoffs, Goodyear Combo Classic, Alabama again goes to the championship, taking down Cincinnati 27-6. Kind of frustrating because everyone wants to root for the little guy, and Cincinnati was the little guy in that case. And then the Capital One Orange Bowl, which was also the playoffs. Georgia won over Michigan. I know not too many Ohio fans out here cared. As a Notre Dame fan, I didn't care either. 34-11, Georgia going to move on to the national championship. It's going to be a rematch of what happened 4 years ago when it was Alabama-Georgia. The Outback Bowl, Arkansas against Penn State. Arkansas won that one 24-10. And then the Verbo Citrus Bowl, Kentucky beat Iowa 2017. PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Marcus Freeman's first game, and he blew a big 21-point lead. Oh, how frustrating is that? Oh, my goodness, that is not fun at all. 37-35, Oklahoma State with the win. The Rose Bowl game, presented by Capital One Venture X, a good back-and-forth game between Ohio State and Utah, and Ohio State wins 48-45. The All-State Sugar Bowl, Baylor beat Ole Miss 21-7. And then in the TaxAct Texas Bowl, the winner of that game, well, it was Kansas State taking down LSU 42-20. Now time for the NFL, where we have the Philadelphia Eagles going to the, FedEx Field and beating the football team 20-16. And when Jalen Hurts tried to get autographs from fans, the fans fell over because the stands collapsed. Fortunately, they were okay, and they immediately popped up on their feet and want pictures and stuff. But oh my God, Rams beat the Ravens 2019. Odell Beckham Jr. caught the game-winning touchdown pass. The Buccaneers beat the Jets Blue it 28-24. They lost Antonio Brown midway through the game because that guy who unfortunately probably has CTE, which is very unfortunate, runs off the field shirtless and away. It's very sad. That guy needs some help. And if you're going to play football, keep in mind of the concussion risks as well, because that stuff happens. Titans against Free Willy. It's a Free Willy loss. They are out of the playoffs. And it was 34-3. The Titans won. Patriots beat Sucksonville and they clinched 50-10. What a good game that was for them. Of course, a good one for the Patriots, that is, as they are going to the playoffs. Congratulations. And then you have the Raiders against the Colts. Raiders keep their playoff hopes alive with a win over the Colts 23-20. And the Bengals beat the Chiefs. The Bengals clinched the AFC North on a last-second field goal. And the Browns blew it. But we'll get to that later. Fire Matt Nagy against the Giant Losers. The Giant Losers lost 20-3. Bills beat the Falcons 29-15. You know what that means? Success. That's right, success. They're going to the playoffs. Of course, that's from Smash Bros. Melee. The 49ers beat the Texans Toast 23-7. 49ers, I think, might be going to playoffs. I don't know about that. But anyways, Chargers played the Broncos. Chargers won, and that means the Broncos are out of the playoffs. They are a failure. And the Browns are out of the playoffs too. That is frustrating. The Browns, this was supposed to be our year. We were supposed to be the best team in the NFL. We were one game back of Baltimore. When we beat Baltimore, I thought to myself, man, we're going to make the playoffs. And man, we didn't make the playoffs. In fact, we did the exact opposite. We didn't go. We're off-season champions for the second time in 3 seasons. Baker's all hurt. Nick Chubb was sitting down on the bench. Kareem Hunt's hurt. Odell left. Landry's good, but not a great receiver. The O-line is also getting banged up. The defense kind of sucks, sans D. Ward and Myles Garrett. Otherwise, the defense mediocre to bad. My God, that was just frustrating. I mean, you know those players. They're supposed to be good. Greg Newsome and JOK had pretty good seasons, but not Rookie of the Year stuff. They're not winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. No way. And the Browns are out of the playoffs. Oh, my God. That is embarrassing. For the first time in years, we had hope. We had it. We had an opportunity. We were like, we might make the playoffs. Holy cow, it wouldn't be surprising if the Cleveland Browns make the playoffs. And you know what? The Browns didn't make the playoffs. They got all our hopes high up in the air, only to boom, destroy them. Saints keep their playoff hopes alive, 18-10. Seahawks beat the loser Lions in a weird game, 51-29. I believe that was not scoregami, however. Cardinals beat the Cowboys 25-22. And the Packers beat the Vikings by a final score of 37-10, which means that the Vikings, congratulations, you're out of the playoffs. Of course, there's typically the crowd that goes, "Oh," after that. And then we lost Monday night to Big Ben Roethlisberger, who was in his last game at Heinz Field for a regular season, that is. All old, all banged up, all fat and stuff. And then we blew it. That was one of the ugliest games. I went to bed at the beginning of the third quarter when it was like 10-0 or 14-0. No, 10-0. A 26-14 loss for the Browns. And the Browns once again have another losing season. Once again, they got everyone hopes high. And once again, they failed to go up to the expectations. It's like 2019 all over again. Remember 2019, I told everyone the Browns are going to win the division. Baker Mayfield's going to win MVP. Now Baker Mayfield's hurt, and even when he was playing, he was struggling. And now he might have just played his last game on Monday night. On what was Big Ben's last game ever, perhaps as the Steeler at home, Baker Mayfield may have just spent his last game as a Brown. He's not playing next week. That'll be Case Keenum. My God, that is frustrating. I'm 149, 106, and 1 with 159 points in the NFL. I'm 18 and 14 in the college football picks, as I won 11 and 6. No time for Tommy's picks. It's just going to be NFL this week. Don't worry. We got to high school basketball for both boys and girls basketball, and NCAA basketball in the future as well. Broncos against Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs. Eagles against the Cowboys. Cowboys have the division all to themselves. Eagles try and get something. I'm picking the Eagles. Browns against the Bengals. Of course we play the Bengals. You know, I understand. We definitely destroyed them earlier this year. But you know what? We're going to give a half-hearted effort. You know that. And the Bengals are riding high. They're like, woo! We won that division. We're division champions. We might win our first playoff game in 31 years. They'll continue that momentum with a win. Loser Lions against the Packers. Lock the week Packers. Even if they put in Jordan Love, there's no excuse to losing to the Lions. Jacksonville against the Colts. Colts trying to get in the playoffs. I'm picking the Colts. And then you have, after that, Fire Matt Nagy going up against Fire Mike Zimmer. And then I'm picking Fire Matt Nagy because, simple. They'll go to 7-10, and just like the Browns, we'll go 7-10. Then Tank Bowl! Giant losers, Washington football team, and will most likely be the last game ever for the Washington football team as the Washington football team, because on February 2nd, they're going to change their name to something else. I hope they keep it the football team. I'm picking the Giant losers because they're home and because of the parity this year. Texans toast against the Titans, picking the Titans to win that one. Ravens against the Steelers with Tyler Huntley still as quarterback, I believe, for the Ravens, and Pittsburgh still trying to get something for Big Ben one last time. I'm thinking Pittsburgh's going to win. Rams against 49ers, upset alert, picking the 49ers. Buccaneers against the Panthers, picking the Buccaneers. Cardinals against the Suckhawks, I'm picking the Cardinals because Seattle Suckhawks are horrible. They suck. That is why I call them Suckhawks. Boy, oh boy. You know, like Seahawks, except I replace C with suck. Because they're bad. And Russell Wilson might be going. Then Free Willy against the Patriots. It's going to be a New England win. So despite having a good record there, it looks like they will not be winning the division because I think the Bills are going to beat the Jets. Jets. That's an acronym for just end the season. Falcons against the Saints. Saints are going to keep their playoff hopes alive with a win, but I don't know if they'll make it. Raiders against Chargers. Sunday night, picking the Chargers to win. And by the way, Broncos, Chiefs, Eagles, Cowboys are Saturday night games. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Another rap song. This one is dedicated to the Cleveland Browns. Where are they now? Because in case you don't know, the DK rap had a sequel by this guy named Brental Floss. He's pretty funny on YouTube. And it's called DK Rap, Where Are They Now? Which makes fun of the DK Rap and the Donkey Kong players from Donkey Kong 64. So I decided, you know what, why don't I do it myself to say congratulations to the Cleveland Browns. Let's get that music going. New song, you love them all from 2020, and you're probably wondering, where are they now? Cleveland, well, he's the leader of the Browns, you know his name, but on the field, he's not the same. On Christmas Day, he threw for 4 picks, and just watching him really made me sick. His arm's not a gun. He can sort of throw it deep. If you're on D, you're gonna be fine. He's injured, saddened, got sacked 9 times. He's the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland. He's banged up. Chubb and Hunt are back. So listen up, fans. Wild ones running, wild ones hurting the land. Now you may have heard that the Browns are losing, and the truth about Nick Chubb is real confusing. He's sitting on the bench. He's sitting on the bench. We don't know why, but he's sitting on the bench. When he's on the field, he's gonna score, but he just doesn't play anymore. Cleveland, sitting down. He's really hard to hate. His arms are long, but Odell didn't feel like he belonged. So he begged for a trade and got out of the jam, and he's now a receiver for the LA Rams. Now he has a lot of weapons, like us last year, and the Rams are making all of their fans cheer. Cleveland, Beckham's gone. Next up, Jarvis Landry hits the stage, and like everyone here, he's gonna age. He's good for a number 2 receiver, and unlike last year, I'm not a believer. He's alright, decent, and somewhat good. There are better receivers in your neighborhood. That might explain his role, which you will know now. He's the number 1 receiver for the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland, he's okay. And then there's the defense. They kind of suck. Cleveland, defense kind of sucks. Cleveland, now this song is over. Come on, Kevin, take it to the fridge. What? Kevin's probably gonna be gone too? Kevin might be fired and in the fridge? Oh no, wow, that's terrible. He was coach of the year last year. Oh my God, how times have changed. I really thought Super Bowl Sunday, Cleveland was gonna have a shot at it, not only at the beginning of the year, but when we beat Baltimore and stopped them from on 4th down, I thought, you know what, this Browns team is Super Bowl caliber. I like our odds of going to the Super Bowl. We started off 3-1, I believe. And then was like the Coyote, going off a cliff. We were already off the cliff, and then we looked down, and then, woo! That's right, or, and just flat into the ground. Oh my goodness. Listen, I wish I never made that rap song about the Browns, but you know what? As a Browns fan, you put up with so much garbage, put up with so much crap through the years. And then when the Browns finally have something good, you think to yourself, wow, this could be something. Super Bowl, here we come, it's next. Well, obviously the Super Bowl looks like a long way away from now. Oh my goodness. That was frustrating as a Browns fan to watch. Just that Monday night game was painful, and Sunday's just going to be even more painful. We can go 7-10. You know, we talked all that garbage. We went nuts over one wild card win over the Steelers. One wild card win. And then the next week we lose. I mean, yeah, the refs definitely made mistakes, but you know, if Patrick Mahomes was playing, we probably wouldn't have, won that game nonetheless. And I know we got upset about the refs on Christmas Day, but keep in mind Baker threw for a hat trick. Maybe he would have thrown a fourth one even if there was a pass interference on that. We weren't even handing it off to Nick Chubb. And then last Monday, Nick Chubb, as mentioned in the song, was sitting down the bench for Dearness Johnson. I understand you're out of the playoffs, but at least beat your rivals. And now we got swept dwarf daddy. That's right, the Steelers are our father. As much as I hate admitting it, Pittsburgh is our daddy. It's not fair. It's an abuseful father. It's a dumb father, but we have to live with it. And yes, we did beat our dad in the playoffs, but you know what? Pittsburgh gets the last laugh because they end up sweeping us in a bittersweet ending for Big Ben Roethlisberger. Oh my God, the frustrations of being a Browns fan. Congratulations, Cleveland. You failed to make the playoffs. And until then, hopefully things will get better for Cleveland, but I'm kind of doubting it being the pessimist I am. I'm Tommy Maroon for the Tommy Maroon Sports Show. So long, everybody.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.